What's up everyone? Welcome to the first episode since our rebranding to Two Free Apping, episode 11 of the pod. And today we got a special guest on for you. Please welcome to the show Sask Midget AAA 24-25 season first team All-Star as well as goalie of the year and most recently World Junior A silver medalist. Thanks for joining the show, Kex, Luke
Oh,
Mckechnie.
of course. Thanks for having me, boys. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
First things first, do you want to talk about how your season's going so far with Whitecourt and now Devon?
It's been good, obviously. I mean, I think I've got lots of opportunity out of it coming to the AJ, being a fast boy. And I think right from the start, I mean, like proving I can play in this league right from my first game and just building off of that, I feel like it's been really good so far.
Like, with that said, this is kind of our main focus here. We usually start off by asking how you're doing and stuff, and then we kind of want you to walk us through the minor hockey process into junior hockey, like kind of walk us through your steps there and tell us a little bit about each place you played.
Yeah, it was good. Kind of started out my midget career in PHA. Absolutely loved it there. Did my first year there, and then took a step over to the AAA league where I played with Moose there for 2 years. 2 great years. Lots of good memories out of that, and that's where I met a couple of the guys from Whitecourt. So that made some stepping stones to get me here. And then, obviously, comes trade deadline, lots of moves get made, and you get moved to Devon, you meet lots of new people, and you just keep building your game from there.
Right on, yeah.
Why did you want to become a goalie? Like, was it was it personal, or was your goalie like a favorite player, you know?
I don't, I don't,
Were you like a big Carey Price fan growing up?
yeah, growing up, like I had my Henrik Lundqvist, so I was big on him. And then that's kind of like a big thing that led it. And then, just like people in your family, father was a goalie, so that kind of leads on to it too. And then just kind of something you pick up at a young age and enjoy. So go from there.
Do you have a goalie you like particularly model your game after nowadays?
I really like the play style of Jordan Binnington, like just as not as like aggressive side that he can brings out every once in a while, but his actual play, I like his game.
Yeah, the competitor in him.
Yeah, definitely.
So what
Uh,
we might be seeing a little goalie fight in the AJ then, is what you're saying?
no, he's
Never know what could happen.
especially after that. What do you think about the Bobrovsky and Nedeljkovic fight? Were you just
I
loving that?
I was loving it. I opened my phone the one night and saw the notifications of goalie fight and like immediately was all over it. I love that.
Awesome. Um, this is kind of we went way back for this one. Um, you played on an absolutely unreal Peewee AA team
Yeah.
with like some notable names like Luke Mckechnie and Joby Mombiller. What was it like playing with those guys, especially in your hometown of Lumsden?
Yeah, I mean obviously young age you get two of now you see some like really high end players and it's like every game you notice that with those guys on your team how it's just like these guys are noticeably better than others and it's like wow, you're lucky to have played alongside them and grow up with them and now be good buddies with them.
That was like right before the COVID season. So did you guys end up getting to finish your playoffs or
No,
anything?
yeah, it was unfortunate. I remember we were set to be in the finals against the Regina team, and it was the day before our game. We got the alert that weren't going to be able to finish the season out, so we were all heartbroken over that.
Yeah, that's definitely a heartbreaker.
Do you want to talk about your experience at Prairie? You know, how what was that kind of being away from home for the first time, and talk about like the academy itself too, because they've got a solid academy there.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it was a big change. Your first year away from home. You're 14 years old, but it was great. We stayed in, or I guess I stayed in the dorm. Some guys billeted, but I had immediate impact on me with everyone around me. Just surrounded by good people, whether it was the teachers or the people in the dorms or even the coaches who like you still be in touch with today. So it was all good, a great program. And then obviously our guys, we had a pretty good team. All the boys were close, so nothing bad to say about Prairie.
For the boys that for the listeners that don't know, me and Kex started off the year in Whitecourt, and we sat beside each other in the stall. And one day I look over at Kex's socks, and I'm like, "What the fuck are on your socks?" Like he has these this old this old goalie or player, I don't know what it was, on his socks, and I asked him, "Who's on your socks?" He's like, "Oh, just one of the old guys from Prairie."
Yeah, yeah, that's always a good story. Lauren Mullican, he's a great guy, he's a good family friend, but he's a big impact person in Prairie. All the boys knew him there.
Um, so what does we are kind of wondering because we've had guys on from NAX, like the U18 team that I played with. What's kind of like a day at Prairie look like?
So a day at Prairie would be first semester. It was like first thing you do, you'd go skate in the morning, and then after you'd work out, you'd have your lunch, and then go in the afternoon three classes, and then coming around second semester would kind of be a flip where you would wake up, go to school in the morning, have your lunch, and then have pretty much the rest of the day off with your workout and skate.
Right on. Um, then you spent 2 years in the Moose Jaw AAA system. How do you feel those 2 years really kind of helped you transition into the junior hockey goal you are and prepare you for junior hockey?
It was great. I mean, like you come in and there's lots of guys with top talent. You see guys move on to the dub from that league, so it's obviously a good league to play in, whether your age. And I mean, just lots to take away from it. That you get good coaches, good goalie coaches, good trainers, especially. You get all the good stuff from that league.
So compared to Prairie, what would you say like the day in life is playing AAA in Moose Jaw?
It's a little different. I know lots of different programs have their different ways of schedules and stuff, but we would skate before school in the morning, and so that was kind of like our first period, you would say. And then around it was like 9:30 tennis, we would go to school, do school for the rest of the day, and then we'd work out after school around 4.
Right on. That's
Do you want to talk about your first SJ start in Yorkton? 62 shots faced, 58 saves. What was that experience like? I definitely wouldn't be prepared for that, but
Yeah,
you
that
want
was,
to
that
talk
was
about
definitely quite the experience. We were hockey, what was it, like Hockey Day in Saskatchewan, something along the lines of that. So it's a big thing around the province, and I mean, your first start, you're obviously amped for it, and then small rink, you're not sure what to expect, and then going into like the what was it? I think it was going into the third period. You already have 45 some shots, something you see like normally after the game's over, then you're really feeling it, and then you go in, you finish the game with that many shots, and you kind of like reflect after, like, wow, that is something that doesn't happen often.
so so you so it's hockey day in Saskatchewan, and did you guys play in Yorkton that night?
Yeah, we played in Kenora, so just
Okay,
north of
okay.
Yorkton.
And how do you get the start? Do you just get the call and they're like, "We want you to start this game for us," or
Yeah, it was kind of
injuries or
yeah. They had some injuries. Their 20-year-old at the time was minorly injured, but good enough to dress. And then their rookie at the time was out with, I don't remember what it was, but he was out for a little bit. So then I was APing with them. I backed up for a game, and then I got the nod. Got told I'll be playing the next game, so just kind of get ready for that and go from there.
right on? So, co- was it just packed then in Kenora? Or?
Yeah, it was a pretty good atmosphere. Kind of a smaller rink, a small town hockey rink is what you'd see, and it was just fans everywhere.
Right on. You know what Bob Stauffer says, you can't go wrong with people from the two S's, Saskatchewan and Sweden.
Yeah.
So, just a so the SJ draft, like we're both Alberta boys, so we aren't really familiar with how that works, and you were picked by Yorkton. So how does that SJ draft work? Like, if you want to walk us through that.
Yeah, so kind of like kind of like similar to the WHL draft, but like mainly just like in fast, obviously. So you have your I think it's so for my year, what it would have been, we would have had 2 rounds of 07s, and then I think it was 6 rounds of 06s. So the 6 rounds of 06s go first, and then the 2 rounds come next, and then the year after follows with your next 6 rounds of 07s, and then 2 rounds of 08. So it was my second year through the draft. So we had the all the 07s that went in the first 2 rounds, and then come my first year midget was the U16 draft, I guess they call it. And then you're kind of like everyone's watching it because like you obviously know the guys who are gonna go first, second overall, all that kind of stuff. So everyone's watching, and then you kind of just get the alert, like, hey, you were just drafted, and it's kind of a cool experience to go through that.
So you get a phone call after, like, or anything, or they just you're their property now. You have to affiliate to them type thing. They don't have
Yeah,
any
like
other.
yeah, it was kind of like you watch the draft you see, and then a few hours later you get a phone call saying, hey, welcome to Yorkton, we're excited to have you, all that kind of stuff, and then yeah, it's kind of you're under their rights.
So it's kind of almost like the dub where you're going to camp with York in the next 2 years, or
Yep, exactly that.
okay, right on.
Can you walk us through the selection process for the World Junior A Challenge and kind of from like a goalie perspective, how was that tournament? Because we had Deacon on, and he gave it from like a player perspective too. So
You
you want to talk?
know, just not maybe go into some more detail than Deeks did. You know, he's pretty blunt with his answers, but
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah,
got that one done in like 30 seconds.
yeah, I know it was cool. It was kind of the day of practice. Head coach, he's like, check your phone. Let me know if you've got a phone call or text or anything yet. So it's kind of like you're wondering like what's gonna happen when I get off the ice and check my phone. So then you get off the ice, check your phone. In that moment, I hadn't gotten anything yet, so like I went and talked to him. I was like, "Hey, do you still want to talk?" Or he's like, "No, give me a phone call when you find out." So I was kind of like on edge, not sure what was to come. And then I remember walking to my billet house, and just as I'm about to open the door, my phone starts ringing, and I see the title like general manager for Hockey Canada, or Team West, whatever it was, and I was like, "Oh wow!" And then kind of picked up the phone, and he was, "Hey Luke, congrats, you've been picked play for Team Canada West," and it was just kind of really shocking in the moment. And then you kind of realize like, yeah, this is happening, and you obviously look forward to it. And then sometime when you're there, it's like almost shocking because like you obviously watch like the U20 World Juniors, and it's like just to wear the leaf would be something cool. And then you obviously get to you look up ice, you see the Sweden jerseys or even the USA jerseys, and getting to play USA for the gold medal game, that was obviously quite the experience.
so during this, so did you have any idea like you're in the debate for this team or anything, or they kind of it's pretty like under the rug, hey?
Yeah, it was pretty kind of like you don't know too much, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call saying like, "Hey, you're picked." Because I know it's a lot different because like in the SJ they do a SJ versus MJ game where they kind of like can play for it, but the AJ is just straight selection.
Yeah, it's definitely Deeks was kind of he got the last minute call, and he was a big piece for your team there,
Oh,
but
definitely. Yeah.
you know what was going on with you guys like splitting games and stuff there? Like you weren't
Yeah, it was
playing
kind of
full like
our for preliminary we kind of split, get like the feeling of it, and then come like actual tournament we played, and then semifinal, like Timmerman got the start, and he had someone got pushed on him, and then something happened in his ankle where he had to leave the game, and then fortunately for my part, I got to come in and play the rest, and then obviously the boys got to go play in the gold medal game after that, so
so
went
yeah,
pretty sweet.
I saw that semifinal. I was like, oh wow, this is you're splitting games. I thought maybe that was weird, but That obviously
Uh-huh.
makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Um, do you have anything that would be like your highlight of the tournament, like favorite memory of the tournament or anything like that?
Kind of fun. I don't know, we had some good team builders with the guys. That was always fun hanging out in the we had a designated room for all the guys to hang out with at the hotel, so that was definitely a highlight, whether it was playing cards or kind of just hanging out with the guys. So probably go with something along the lines of that.
Right on. Who was your roommate?
It's with Jackson Hertzak, fellow
Okay,
South boy.
another Sass boy, yeah.
Yeah,
He's committed to Colorado College.
yeah,
Very, very cool.
yeah.
Um, you know any of the guys beforehand besides like you personally or
Uh,
just guys you played against or
yeah, kind of Thomas Reese. I played against him in the Sask League, and then obviously affiliating with Yorkton. I kind of knew him from that, but apart from that, it was just him.
right on. Um, so you obviously get dealt at the deadline. It was a huge trade too. Like,
Yeah,
did you have any feeling or how did were you surprised you got traded and how did you find out you got traded?
yeah. It comes with a little bit of shock. Like I don't know, the the last game I played before the deadline wasn't the greatest, so I kind of thought maybe, and you obviously hope for not, but we come back after Christmas break and we get a phone call, hey, can you come meet in the office? And I was kind of hoping it's like a hey, welcome back, more than a hey, you're being traded, but you get to the office, have a talk, get the news that you've been traded to Devon for their older goalie, and after like sitting down and looking at the trade and all to come, you realize the positives that are coming out of it, and it's not a totally bad thing.
Oh, absolutely. You got a sweet new goalie partner now that top-notch dude. So
Oh yeah,
bunch
great
of good
guy.
boys, got bunch of good boys there in Devon.
Yeah, great group.
Speaking of the trade, how's your time in Devon been so far, and like what's that transition kind of been like going for like you went from a team obviously Whitecourt with championship aspirations, first in
Yeah,
the league, and now you're on Devon, obviously a younger team, still trying to figure things out. But I mean, for you, you're getting definitely a lot more runway with Devon than with Whitecourt, I'd say.
Yeah, before like you answer, I just like you guys are building something good in Devon. You guys definitely are. I think when I saw the trade, I was like, oh, this you're gonna be a huge part of that future there. So you know,
yeah, yeah. Obviously, it's big. Like the big change start with going from a high end caliber team to a newer team to the league, a rebuilding team, you could say. But you get here and like the team makes some moves, makes some guys, get some younger guys, and you can see the future coming out of the team, especially like a couple weeks after the deadline. You can tell we're a team that wants to work for it, and I mean, being out of playoffs this far, you never know what could happen. Like we go on a run, we could easily make it. I believe we've got the team that could do it.
right on. Yeah, you guys have kind of been you've been stringing along some wins here now. So
Yeah,
just keep building on it, and you never know what could happen when you get this deep in the year.
yeah, exactly.
Um.
As long as you boys don't pass the Cats, then we're chilling.
Yeah, Carson here, he's a big Cats fan and he wants to get on Matty Hakita,
Yeah,
Ha- he's always talking about getting Matty Hakita on. He loves him. That's his is that your favorite player, Carson?
Yeah, Maddie's my idol, man.
yeah, it'd be another good guy to have on here.
Um, so back to the minor hockey days, like early on you said you're a Henrik Lundqvist fan. Like, do you start playing goalie right away? Like as soon as you're, I don't know, pretty much allowed to play full-time goalie are you playing, or did you stick to player for as long as you could?
Yeah, it was kind of. I remember like as young as you could be, probably over 10 years ago now. It's kind of like when you're at the age where you kind of switch, you have the rotation where one game I'll play defense, one game I'll play goalie, and then as soon as I'm able to play goalie full time, I knew I took that leap to it.
Right on. And you're from. You got a good story when I was in Whitecourt. You told me. You got a good story about why you're a Rangers fan. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Carson will like this one.
yeah. It started out. Parents went to school with Connor Glass, who kind of a enforcer throughout the league at the time, and that's kind of a place I like to follow, and especially with Matt Rempe now being with the Rangers, but kind of followed Tanner Glass with the NHL, and then when he landed in New York, and we had Hank there, and that's kind of where I started being a big Rangers fan, and it just built from that. Tanner Glass is where it started.
Great story. And then the Lumsden senior team got the Monarchs, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Rangers logo
yeah, exactly.
looks pretty similar, you know. Um, so as the years kind of coming to the end here, what's your goals with the rest of the season, kind of moving into next year, maybe?
Goals to finish up the season strong. I mean, like you as a goalie, you get only so many games you can play compared to a player where you might get scratched a couple times throughout the season, but you obviously still have your chance to play. So every chance you get, obviously making the best opportunity you can out of it, and then obviously try and get the 2 points at the end of every game for the team, and kind of just keep building up.
Right on. Um, I think Carson's got a baseball question for you.
Yeah, it's little Sasky boy, little small town guy. Did you play baseball growing up in Lumsden?
Yeah, we had a Cub team. I played 1 year on. I was kind of my summer sports were kind of all around. I played 1 year lacrosse, played lots of years of flag football, so it's kind of just play whatever play whatever you want. And I know I did play 1 year of baseball and quite enjoyed it that year.
Carson was a big Lloyd Twins guy or what?
Yeah, Lloyd Twins.
You know, with that said about the flag football, you got an NFL team, and maybe give us your Super Bowl prediction here.
Yeah, it's actually worked out quite good. I was born into being a Seahawks fan,
Oh
so
yeah, that's the right answer. That's the right
yeah,
answer.
yeah. So it's
I'm giving Carson a hard time. I think Sammy D's gonna choke here in the big
nah,
moment, but
he's been too good. He'll keep building and he'll bring it back to Lumen Field.
I can't see that happening. I think Drake May is gonna have a huge game here, but you know,
Yeah,
I don't think he holds against that Hawks defense, man.
yeah. It's too good of a defense, and
for Carson's sake here, you know, I just feel a little bad. You know, the Oilers and the Jays have lost the last little bit. You know, Seahawks would break his heart again, but I'm fully expecting them just to break his heart because he's a Hawks fan and you know he's been through a lot this year. So I think they're just gonna do it. They're just gonna lose just because of that. But
I believe they'll make up for it.
um, so for the listeners, Kex used to during when we were in Whitecourt, it was still pretty nice. He would rollerblade to our morning workouts. He lived like, I don't know, 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
Lumsden's a huge roller hockey town. And maybe want to talk about that a little bit about the any good roller hockey stories and kind of what a roller hockey day looks like.
yeah. It's kind of it's big with the cousins and a few of the cousins' friends especially. So like I know it's pretty big between kind of our family, you could say, where we'll go to the outdoor rink and host like a little roller hockey game or something, get the puck out and kind of pass it around or play some kind of game. And I don't know, probably highlight of the summer from rollerblading stories. I probably have to go with a game. I think it was quite a few of us, maybe 6 to 8, somewhere around there, and we just kind of flipped the nets down, and you would toss the puck into the top of the net, and that's how you get a goal. So that was quite the experience. Just rollerblade down from your house to the rink, and after that, go to the co-op, get some ice cream with the boys, and just a good night overall.
No fights or anything? No,
No, no fights.
not too intense.
No,
Oh,
pretty simple
that's
game.
good. That's good. Carson, you got any other last questions here? Or?
You know, I kind of just wanted a fun question here. You know, you're a Rangers fan. Where do you think Panarin's going at the deadline?
Yeah, I've heard a lot, but I don't know. It's tough to see all the rumors about him going. I don't I don't really know where I could see him going, but gotta think. I would
You know,
like to see him.
he's going to the Oil. I can't lie. They'll make it.
Yeah,
I don't see that. He always says this oil theory. I think it's bullshit. I don't see it happening. One, I don't think they have the assets. Two, I don't think Russians really like Edmonton. I think Pods is like a outlier. And three, I just like they aren't even in the talks at all. There's not a chance he comes to Edmonton. He's making 11.6. Not a chance that happens.
yeah. Who knows? Maybe McDavid splits him a couple millies and lets him sneak on the team.
Um, okay, last question here. Maybe more of a we this is I kind of wanted to start doing this more in our interviews. Favorite hockey story throughout the years. It can be however long you want it to be, you know, just
Yeah,
a
sure,
good
sure.
hockey story. We want to give the fans a couple, or maybe one of these here.
Yeah. I gotta think. Actually, you know what? I got a good one. This will be a good one. It's last year. We're making a trip up to Battleford. I remember the team I forget it was. I think it was a couple months before we would usually book a hotel, and the one hotel that we would usually stay at was, I think it was like full at the time, and we were supposed to like rebook a week earlier,
Yeah.
but had forgotten. So we get to Battleford, and it's kind of like last minute situation, find a hotel, and so we end up in visibly not the nicest hotel, but the boys stick it out. And one of the guys was looking for an outlet to plug his phone out, and he pulls the bed out, and behind the bed is a actual like a taser that you'd like see in a movie or something, and all the boys are just shocked that we just found a taser in a hotel room.
So the boys like fuck around and start tasing people with it, or
Yeah, well, it was kind of like everyone was just like in shock at first, like should we even be touching this? And then after we kind of like talked about it and just kind of became a joke. We tried charging it, see what would happen, but no power to it. So it's just kind of like a joke amongst the boys that found a taser, but probably for the best that it didn't work.
yeah, you gotta say. Um, yeah. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, fuck. Um, driving through the Saskatchewan towns, you never know what you're gonna find or see,
No,
especially
yeah,
in Battleford, Carson.
some gems,
That's
yeah.
the most average Battleford experience too.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, thanks for hopping on, Kex. We really appreciate it. Um, hope you have a
Thanks,
good
man.
end to the season, and hopefully, maybe you want to hop on in the summer again, get an update in or something. But
Oh, of course, that'd be awesome. Thanks for having me, boys. I really enjoyed this time.
yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
bro.
hopping on.
Of course.
All right, that wraps up episode 11 of Inside the in Two for Yappin', sorry, new name. Check out our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I don't know if the Spotify's up working. I don't, Carson, is it?
Might be.
Okay, so
We're working on it.
Two for Yappin'. Check us out. Thanks for watching, everyone.